Alright guys, so I have this 2006 BMW X5 4.4i. The problem is the brakes is very hard. When I come up to a stoplight, the vehicle still surges forward even when you press the brakes all the way down to the ground. Alright, so now I'm gonna test to see if the problem is the booster, the brake booster, which is right here, or the vacuum pump, which is actually under the intake. Where is it? It's right under the intake, right about here. All right, so what I did, I bought a vacuum pump from Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh, fuel pump and vacuum gauge tester. All right, so I could test the vacuum pump on the vehicle. So what I'm gonna do, this is my gauge right here. What I'm gonna do is connect my vacuum pump, my vacuum gauge. Set this here a little bit. Come on. All right. Okay, vacuum gauge is connected, and I disconnected the check valve. This is the check valve for the booster. Disconnected already. Just pull it right out, but you got to be very cautious pulling it out. All right, pull out the check valve, which is actually a new check valve. So I know the check valve is not an issue. The line right here, this is all new line, so the line is not an issue also. All right, what I'm gonna do, okay, so what you have to do, get a piece of hose. I have a, see what this looks like here. This is it's like a heater hose. All right, that's a heater hose size. I think that's 5/8. Okay, that's 5/8 hose. Cut a little piece this long. All right, cut a little piece this long. Just sit this somehow. Video is a little bit crude as usual, but the process works. And what you do, you connect this part of your vacuum gauge into your 5/8. Push it in all the way. Make sure it's sealed properly. And the other end of your 5/8, you connect that to your check valve. All right, you connect that to your check valve. Connect that to your check valve right here. Come on, stay there. Don't move. All right. You connect that to your check valve. Push it in all the way. Push it in all the way. All right, so it looks something like this. 5/8 adapter into your vacuum gauge. All right, I have a little makeshift here to hang my gauge. Okay, now we're gonna start the engine and see what happens, see what the suction is like. Theoretically, when I turn the engine off, the vacuum should hold. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens. Okay, engine is running. It's a little lower than A little lower than 1,000 RPM. Pretty good. Okay. The vacuum gauge is to the roof. So that's looks like about 30 HG inches back. Alright. It's about 30 inches HG of vacuum. Alright, nice and steady. Alright, nice and steady. Now I'm going to shut the engine off. Theoretically, it should hold since it's connected to the check valve. So that in itself should hold. Okay, shut the engine off. Alright, shut that engine off. Okay, engine is off. 0 RPM, engine off. And here my vacuum is still nice and steady. So what this is telling me is my vacuum pump on the engine, which is right below the intake, right down here. My vacuum pump is good. My check valve is good. Well, since it's new, it's good. My line is good. There's no leak because it's holding nice and steady. And I'm gonna disconnect it slightly to eliminate the vacuum. It's gonna drop. Okay, so ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Alright, come on. There we go. Nice. Vacuum is dropping because I'm disconnecting it from the adapter here. See, still holding steady. Okay, right there. Totally evacuated. Alright, it's totally evacuated. Now I'm going to show you how to test your booster, the brake booster here, to see if it holds vacuum. And I think I am actually 100% sure that my problem is with the brake booster. Alright, I'm going to introduce some vacuum to it. And the vacuum pump I'm going to use, this one I got it from AutoZone. It's a MITY, M-I-T-Y vac. It's actually for, to bleed brakes. It's a brake bleeder. But it definitely does the job. All right. Okay, let me set this here a little bit. It's just a matter of setting up the adapter. Oh, come on. Gotta be a good spot in here to put this. All right. So to set this guy up, you have to disconnect this hose right here. Take this off from the vacuum. Yeah, it looks like my allergies are kicking in again. Allergies are kicking in. Pretty good. Alright. So what you're gonna do, disconnect that end. Disconnect that from your vacuum gauge. And connect that end to your MITY right here. Connect this to your MITY. What we're gonna pretty much do is introduce vacuum into the brake booster. And my top reading on this is 30-inch HG of vacuum. Okay, if I plug the other end and I pump it, you see I got good vacuum going on there. And I release it, it goes back. So at least I know my vacuum pump, my vacuum tester is working. Alright, vacuum tester is working. Alright. So what you do, make sure there's no oil, grease, brake fluid. Make sure this is clean. Alright. Now you take this end and alright, you take this end, get this out of the way here. I guess at this point, since we know the vehicle vacuum pump is working, you could disconnect the 5/8 hose. Okay, so I disconnect this 5/8 from the check valve. As we know, the check valve, brand new check valve, it's good. So right now you kind of very carefully put the check valve out of the way. Let's see, I'm gonna get it through here. Get your check valve out of the way, maybe somehow. If it will stay. I guess if you just pull it down, you can just, there we go. Let's pull it down, I guess. Let's sit that way. Alright, now this is the hole. This is the hole for the brake booster. What I did previously, I put some blue silicone gasket maker around the rubber seal, because originally I thought that was the problem, but that didn't fix the problem. I think it's a more bigger internal problem. It's a much bigger internal problem. Alright, so we're gonna test the booster at this point. So we take this end of the adapter, just push it in the hole. Nice snug. It has to seal 100%, and the fact that it's conical, it's cone shape, it allows you to seal it, push it. The further you push, the better it seals. Alright, so at this point, alright, we have our vacuum tester all set up. Now once I start pressurizing this, it should accumulate vacuum. And according to how bad it is, actually this one is pretty bad. The brakes is very, very much compromised. Okay, now I'm applying vacuum to the booster. Nothing is happening. It goes up ever so slightly, but you can't even, you could hardly recognize it. Right, ever so slightly, and it's not accepting vacuum, and it's not maintaining vacuum. Yeah, so pretty much this brake booster is shot. Alright, brake boosters are gone. Alright, so process of elimination. As a technician, you get to find out that you have to start with the basics. And the basics is test the components from one end to the other. Make sure you don't skip any steps. And that's what the final step led me to. Led me to the fact that the brake booster is pretty much shot. Alright guys, thanks for watching. And now it's just a matter of getting another brake booster to install it in here. And it's not that bad to install. You just have to pull out this panel here. This whole panel comes off. This comes off. This inner mechanism here, this inner air shroud comes off. Alright, the inner air shroud comes off. This comes off. A couple of these are all like 10 millimeter. These are 10 millimeter screws. I put it out with 10 millimeter screws. And I may have to get a little bit of the wiper mechanism out of the way. Also, a little bit of the wiper mechanism out of the way. Get that done. And hopefully I could push the master cylinder away just enough where it doesn't kink, but it allows me to pull the whole thing out. If not, disconnect the line, rebleed the system. Alright, I'll make a video on when I get to that point, replacing the booster. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Subscribe.